put our hands together. Online. Thank you. Okay, thank you for that. But we also want you to ask a question soon. So, does any other person have a question online? So we can take that. And before we move on to the next, you can actually open your mic. I think Mario have a question. Okay. So someone said, I think for women, once you give her what she wants, she loves you and loves you for what you do,
I know,
and
right?
it's a win-win.
It
I've experienced that. Like when you work with a woman, you actually enjoy it. I mean, if you are a young man that knows what you're doing too, just know what you're doing, you actually do enjoy it.
True.
Right? Someone said, how do you scale a creative field when you are not in marketing? I don't know what that is, but Mario, you can open your mic and ask the question. Hello, Mario? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so what I basically mean, right? I don't know where your guests work, but I've found that in most organizations, right, if you're not in marketing, I don't know, people don't really see your value, right? Because they feel like you're just sitting behind the screen.
Pressing laptop. We didn't talk about that.
You're just pressing laptop. Some people say, money spender, maybe because if you're in marketing.
Yeah, cost house. We had to put it.
Marketing, they'll say, you spend money, but you don't bring in money.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you have that conversation? How do you sort of like look at trajectory? What lingo, what business lingo, since you're in the business, an actual business, right?
Yeah.
To negotiate your offer, right? I don't know if that is even possible, but because we're having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Let me know what your thoughts are, really.
Okay, so I think just 2 days ago we had this conversation.
Yes.
So when a woman is not going out there, bringing money, right? They think she's not doing anything.
Yeah,
it's really about women. They do it a lot to women, but when a man is sitting behind the desk,
it's working hard.
He's working hard, right? But when a woman is seen in the same position, she's not doing anything unless she's going out there knocking from one door to the another to get for funds.
Yeah.
And which most times exposes them to all manner of stuff. So now, this is crazy, man. I can't even think about it. So what do you have to say about this?
Okay. See, that's something that, I've experienced myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about this digital marketing thing is some companies, some industries, some organizations rather, are not ready to spend money, to run ads, to run, and all of that. And they want the value for what people that run ads get. I mean, people run targeted ads to their audience that they've crafted, their, personals, their buyer personals and all. And then they see results because, the ads target those people. You can't compare people that do that to people that just, you're doing your social media marketing or your Google, your SEO and SEM and all of that, and then you want that same. You won't actually, get that. And the thing is, you are the technical person, right? And they want you to achieve a lot of things, get 10,000 followers, without ads and all of that. It's a dicey one. It's something that it will take you going the extra mile. It will take you putting extra effort. You would do things that people would think I'm like, do I own 0.1 equity in this company with the way I push and all of that? Because you understand the situation that you're in, and you understand that they have high expectations. They want you to do a lot with little. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
It would take you going the extra mile, putting in maybe your money, your time, to show that you actually have value that you're bringing in. Because let's be honest, every business, once they don't see what you're bringing in, to them, you're just a cost house. You're spending money. You're just spending money, and they're not saying, okay, we are paying you. What are we really paying you for? Our social media pages are like this. We are not really seeing the value that you're bringing. many organizations don't know how to manage creatives and people in that space. It's really difficult for you to start explaining what you do and how it reflects on the brand. It's quite difficult, but I feel like the only way you can achieve that is you going the extra mile.
Yeah.
Going the extra mile. You will, like, when I mean go, sometimes you will spend your money.
Yeah.
Because okay, you want them to see that okay, if we're able to spend XYZ amounts, this is the reach we can get, this is the impression we can get, this is this. You're showing them that if you can spend this, you get this. Yes, you may have to use your money initially, but with time they would see that okay, this is actually bringing results. And then if those your ads translate into conversions, yes, they now see real people coming for their socials asking, oh okay, I would like to do this, I'd like to get this product. Now they've seen value in what you are, in what you're doing. But at the very instance, they are like,
what are you doing?
What are you
behind the
doing?
table?
But if you can say, okay, in the past 30 days, we've been able to get 10 clients from social media. Now that's numbers. You're speaking numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, in the past, quarter, we'll be able to get 50 people from social media to, maybe buy our products or invest in our business or something like that. You are speaking numbers, So they are not saying it that, okay, you're just behind your laptop now. You have data. Data is what can speak for you. Data can speak for you.
So what eventually what it means is that the ladies there or the people there should invest more in value-oriented activities.
Exactly.
Right? They should figure out what brings the money.
Yes.
And find a way to communicate it so that it makes sense to the management.
Exactly.
Because if not, I think that we'll keep having heartbreaks.
Circles,
by the time your boss walks into the office, you're here since morning, you're not doing anything. What have you done today? Others are out there bringing millions, as though bringing those millions, you're dancing. You're just smiling. When you go out there, you smile at them, and a lot of people may not understand this, but in the corporate space, it works very differently.
Yeah, very,
right?
very different.
How it works is that you have salespeople, which we call marketers. Sometimes they put some crown on it and call it business developers.
Exactly.
We are still saying the same thing.
Relationship managers.
Relationship managers. We are still saying the same thing.
People,
going out there
people.
to do presentations,
Exactly.
to bring money. And see, don't even laugh. Everybody's going to be a business developer.
Whether you like it or not.
Everybody's going to go out there and look for funds. And what makes it easy for you to get that fund is personal leadership. How you're able to carry yourself, how you're able to brand yourself, how you're able to, whether you're a man
or
whether you're a woman, you would definitely want to build a business one day, and you would want to grow that business. And how do you grow that business is to get people to buy what you are selling. That is only way you can do. So that you put gun on in their neck, or you run ads, or you go and do presentation. They didn't teach you this in school.
Yes.
But it's going to be real. Whether you do it in your 30s, or you do it in your 50s, or you do it in your 100s.
You still need to.
One day you go enter streets, go find people who invest in you.
Yes.
And that is what it is. So I think I have we're going to take from Fabian, and then one more online, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Hello, Fabian.
Good morning.
Okay.
You mentioned that when we were discussing about skills necessary to be in this space, you mentioned that as simple as an email can be, a lot of people don't know how to craft a good email. So I'd like you to elaborate what the expectations are for a good email, what should be in it, what should not be in it, what should be avoided, what should be done. So just
Okay. Okay. First, I think he mentioned something on that already, but let me just go. Professional language. There's a way you chat with your friends, and there's a way you type on WhatsApp. When you type on WhatsApp long enough and you want to send a professional email to somebody, you don't know when he steps in and you're just writing as if you're talking with the person. You don't write, you won't be writing the way you speak. You have to ensure that, professional, you sound as professional as possible. You're opening you're opening the body and then the closing. It's just like a letter that we used to write those days.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
think about a letter.
A letter, that kind of thing. So you want to be sure that whatever the subject of the email is, just go straight to the point, no beating around the bush. You want to request for the production of this. Dear sir, I'm writing to request that this. You just want it to be as formal as possible. You don't want to sound like you're gisting with the man, like he's your friend. Even if it's your colleague, you want to make it sound because there are times where they
will sample your email now.
Thank you very much. Tasks will be assigned or things will be done, and then they'll be like, did you send a mail to back it up? let's say there's no email.
Mm-hmm.
To them, you've not said it. You didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Mm.
Or your manager sends you an email, you don't respond. Those are not, there should be a turnaround time of you acknowledging. Let's say you were assigned a task, you first acknowledge that you've received this, and then shortly you would give an adequate response to that. And then you make sure you do a follow-up email giving, saying what was requested from you. But some people, you send them mail and then the mail sits there, days have passed. The person that sent the mail does not even know if you saw the email or not. No, that's very, very unprofessional. Those are things that people get queried for,
You didn't complete the loop.
You didn't complete the loop. If someone sends you a message, you first, you let the person know that you've seen it. Yes, sir. This, I've received this email, or this is this is well received. Just let the person know that you've received this mail. Then you send an adequate response. But you in your head, you're like, no, when I get the document that he wants me to send, that's when I'll respond. That's wrong.
Yeah.
You acknowledge recipient of the mail, and then you follow up with whatever was asked from you. You stay as professional as possible, so that even when you are a freelancer or you happen to, and you're dealing with your client, the client will say, this person, responds on time. Even if you don't have that job to do, person sends you a mail or, a message or something, you acknowledge that, okay, you've seen this, and then you're working on the next so time. You get the person would feel relaxed that okay, and this person is working. Even if you in your heart you may know that okay, I'm doing like 4 different jobs for freelancers, right? But you've acknowledged that you saw this and you're going to work on it. So that's just how to.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. We're rolling out some programs soon. You just have to stay tuned. We'll be teaching all this. I think we'll share that email with you.
Okay.
So stay tuned. We'll be doing all of that, right? Detailed email etiquettes. All right, so that. Because sometimes if something goes wrong in an office, right, you use emails to trace where it started
so
from.
We need to know where.
Do you understand? So now, maybe you don't go send your guy, hi, my guy, that woman say make you run am. Now so they go run you commercial.
You understand? You use one.
And they print emails.
Yes,
it's crazy. Like if you want to investigate something, right?
Out,
there sometimes we see mail trails. Different people copied at different levels.
Yeah.
Maybe when it gets to you want to copy a different set of people. You remove the people that were copied before. So you need to know how that system works. Because I don't think, just like newspapers, emails are not going anywhere. They are going to be republished in different forms. Slack, all those work efficiency tools. You still have to communicate with your team. So if you receive a file, you say yes, I've received, thank you, okay, all right,
just
on chats. But on email, you have to greet the person as though you guys have not seen that day.
Even if you just finish this with the person now.
You send the person email, because when it comes to investigation, right, it will look different. The mood is different. Maybe the way he sent it, you were happy, you guys had a drink, he said, I don't send you that file now. Check him. If you work, before I file and go that wicked woman. Listen.
I mean, people do that.
Now, when are people they write email now? By the time they don't print email, now all your email, now Albero, is giving a megad. All right.
So,
So I think thank you very much for that. So some programs are going to be doing some stuff, in the later time. My friends are going to be, doing all that. So stay tuned to like detail. And then when it comes to professional email, right, professional English, right. You see, you wrote essay, right, when you were in school. You wrote article, right. That's actually how to sound, right. You use words that use words, lexicons.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You don't just talk, because one sentence has to be so clear.
Yeah.
Right? So I have one sentence. I have received this information and this is missing. However, you see all those things. However, kindly note.
You understand? Catchy. Kindly note, the part I like so much is when they ask you to do something and then you want to advise them. Please be advised. That this has so implications. If it's done this, you let them know very clearly. When something happens, you hear you should have advised.
You can't say.
Maybe you were advising with your mouth, but your email didn't say it.
Yeah.
So where's your proof that you advised?
So and also you need to also know that when you're working in the corporate or you're dealing with people, you have to, after you have a conversation, go and type it.
Very important.
Type it as a text and send to the person. Do you understand? Or as an email, whatever. All right. You've had a conversation. Let me do this. Let's do this. That bullet point. Go back again. and write it
So you
out.
guys can be on the same
Right, so both
page.
of you can be on the same page. So not be assuming what I said
Mm.
and not seeing really what I said. Right, stuff like that. There should no. Do you want? How much do you have?
How much do you have? What's the question? How much?
How many rooms? Do you know how much rent is now? You want to rules for interpretation.
Yeah.
So there won't be no room for that. All right. Rent is expensive. Thank you very much. And one more person online. Permac is online. I think he has a question or something to say. Mr. Permac, we can hear you if you open your mic.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Good morning.
I think this event has been very insightful. I just have a quick question, right? I'm happy the whole discussion about women in creative and leadership came out. So real quick, what is your advice for ladies, right, who are in leadership positions, leading creative men who are very, very good? So I think sometimes I've noticed they tend to be a bit, emotional or aggressive because they see like this guy is very good and I'm leading them. So what would be your advice to be able to for them to be able to balance their entire thing, to be able to put their feet down and have a straight statement, right? To be able to lead these people to success during every project.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. I think it's like the entirety of what we've actually been saying since, leading a creative team that comprises of men and then you happen to be a woman. Fortunate for me, that's the space that I've been, long enough. I would say that first and foremost, you make them understand what the goal is. I'd always start from the goal because once the team members don't really understand what the goal is and how we are going to get there, that's when the argument, that's when there's a lot of, in as much as at every time sometimes the goal changes, you are going this direction, management may want to switch you to this direction, that kind of thing. You always reinforce whatever the goal is at every gathering. Oh, our goal is to do this, that, and then for every time a crisis come up or you are sent tasks to one of them and they're acting in some kind of way, and if you want to respond, they say it's emotion, right? You want to respond and it is seen as aggression, it is seen as nagging sometimes. I think I have learned via experience because I would say at the initial stage sometimes I lose myself, I get angry and I start shouting. I mean, a ministry man raised me, so you can't I always tell them you cannot shout more than me. I always use that line that you can't shout more than me. If we were to start shouting now, this building would be shaking. But I think with time, what I would always do is this task was assigned to you, now that I've learned, why were you not able to do it? I'm not really a patient person. I really don't have time to listen normally because I feel like if task has been given to you, whatever, if it requires you staying all night to do it, if it requires you not sleeping, just get it done. Right? People are paying us money and then they expect us to deliver regardless. Your grandmother died, something, money is being spent, right? Do it regardless. That used to be me, very aggressive style. But, I have learned to be patient. This task was assigned to you. What happened? Why were you not able to achieve it? In as much as it's going to be difficult to be calm in that situation, especially if maybe before you came to address them, you just got serious, from your bosses, and you're coming. I had to, read book on emotional intelligence. I try to understand from their, perspective. Okay, maybe they had challenges, all of that, So I'd always ask, why was this not done first? Why? If I see it as a thing of you not just being confident or you not wanting, or you're just being lazy, then I give you a firm, query on, whatever it is. Or if it's a first time happening, I give you a grace. Please, next time, kindly communicate. You see, this communication thing, I would always say, it's key. Kindly communicate on time. If you experience any challenge along the way, you want to move this bottle from this place to this place. If as when you got here, there's something blocking the road that you cannot pass, let your supervisor, whoever, let the person know. It's very painful that you assign a task, the person does not do it, and then you're asking one, the person is saying, I tried now. It's just that it just looks as if the person is not serious. Whether we like it or not. Forget whether it's a woman, whether it's a man. If a man was in that, maybe he would even be more aggressive, but then it's a man, right? And then it won't be seen as, aggression. Communicate. So for the ladies, in those positions, let's try to be patient. We know it's not easy. We're trying to see these men as our sons, you know. They're like, my child, come. Why didn't you do this thing? Why did you? They are not your children, right? So we try to be patient with them, understand why things were not done, understand why the task was not assigned. And if you, for any reason, see that it's due to their laziness or not being, you just issue query quickly. Don't waste time. Not too much. You know, it's when you try to explain and do basketballs and you start getting angry and then you start maybe yelling or being aggressive. Not too much talk. Issue the person query to explain yourself. You've done what you want to do. The me of before was start, why is it that? Now he's not seeing what he did. He's seeing your reaction.
He's seeing your reaction. Yes.
He has forgotten that the reason why this woman is shouting like a mad woman is because I didn't do this thing. That is out of the way. It's not your reaction that is. So you don't react that way. You react in the professional way. Send queries. They would see it and then they would explain and then, you know, just send query. Because if you want to be exchanging, you know, you'll be pictured in such a way that you don't want to look. But you ensure you state that this, you know, if it's a first time, like I said, let them know that, okay, going forward, this will not be condoned. If you have an issue along the way, kindly let me know. It's not easy. It's not easy because sometimes the kind of lashes you get and then you don't want to come and vent that. That's why the emotional intelligence part comes in. You don't want to come and pour that on your team. You want to soak it in. It's part of what you get being a leader. It's not easy. It's not every time you get thank you for all you do. Very rare. Nobody thanks you for anything.
Thank you for all you do.
You do. Instead, thank you for going through it. You know, that kind of thing. Nobody thanks you for what you do, right? You take it in. It's your own. You know, then you go back and try to be patient with them. You know.
Thank you
But
so
I'll always say that. See, if there's someone in your team that is not performing back to back, get rid of the person. That's just the truth.
Put it in the dustbin.
Whether we like it or not, that person is going to keep dragging the team down.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to keep
That is true. I think we've talked a lot of things. We've talked, skill competence. We've talked about all of that communication. I think, I mean, the last one you said, it might sound really harsh, but right, you need to, sometimes you weigh the interest of the people that are working with. Okay, can this person stay in this role? Does he have, because some people are incompetent at the same time, interestingly arrogant, right? There are some that are incompetent, but they are meek. They are willing to learn.
Exactly, and then it's easy for you to teach them.
Yes.
They are teachable.
Okay. Just doing this etc. studio. This is where I kind of officially started my design career. This wasn't the location before, right? I wasn't as good, but my boss will always say something that he's meek, right? So what I do is that I take on projects that are not even like official projects assigned to me, do them, and then send for him to review. Do you understand? You can see that, this boy is not that good though, but he's making effort, right? We can see his effort, right? Then they have confidence that, okay, we can keep him, even if we are wasting money. We know that, we're investing money in someone that, has the capacity to learn. Yeah. So if I didn't go through that, we won't be having to be in this same space having this conversation. You get what I'm saying? So the problem is always those people that you are incompetent and you are unconscious about your incompetence, and then you added another layer to that, which is arrogance. All right. So in the next segment, we'll be talking a lot about competency, and we'll be having Mr. Logic to have that conversation with us. But so far, thank you very much, Christiana, for having, to honor our invitation. Right? Please, thank you. Please, can we...